Good afternoon, guys. Today what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you a really easy way to make fried chicken. Now, I've got all the ingredients laid out, and as you can see, it's not much. So what I've got some chicken legs here and some lovely thighs. What I've just done, I've just taken them out of the packet, I've washed them, just so, because you know sometimes on chicken you get that sort of slimy, gooey texture, so that's all gone from all these pieces now. Now I use thighs because the favourite part of my chicken is the thigh. I also love the breast, but in this case we're going to use some nice succulent legs, which I've got here. Look how meaty and juicy that one is. So now what we're going to need, this is the key here, this original chicken fry mix, which we've got from our supermarket. Obviously you're going to need a bowl, you're going to need some oil, and you're going to need a nice big thick pan or pot, however you want to pronounce it. So we're going to get the bowl. Obviously I'm holding the camera as well, so you have to bear with me, and we're going to run some cold water in our bowl like so, and then during that time we're going to take the chicken pieces and plop them in like that, and obviously do the same for the thighs. In they go. So now all the chicken is in the water, soaked nicely for a couple of minutes. Now I'm going to get my original mix and I'm just going to put it into a plate. Obviously we've got quite a lot of chicken, so you want to use a lot of this stuff like so. Now bear in mind your hands are going to get quite messy and quite sticky because yeah, so your hands are going to get quite messy and quite sticky, but that's all part of the fun. So literally we're going to take the chicken, use the seasoning, place it on the bowl or the plate. Okay, so simply I'm going to try this with one hand to show you. Got the chicken. Don't worry about not draining too much water, because obviously the water acts as the agent to stick the chicken. So as you can see, you want to make sure it's fully covered, like so, like that. Lovely. So this sort of chicken is so tasty, it's just like if you go to any of them sort of chicken fast foody places, wherever you might be. Bear in mind, this obviously isn't necessarily healthy, but tasty. So it's something that you probably wouldn't have all the time, but sometimes it's nice to have it as a treat, and also it saves you going to the shop, spending money on, like, if you want fried chicken, when you can just think, well, you know what, I'm going to make it myself, and I can choose the pieces that I want and the amount that I want, and obviously it's a lot cheaper. So yeah, there we go. So literally I'm going to be here for a while, so I'm going to make sure that all the chicken is fully coated with the sauce and then put onto a plate. Now I'm going to stop the camera now, and I'm going to show you what it looks like when it's all done. So now the last piece has been nicely coated, as you can see. This is great for, like, if you want to get the kids involved or other family members, because obviously your hands get really dirty with all the fry mix. So they're completely covered, as you can see. Little pat and put them down. Now we're ready for the next part. The chicken, which has been nicely seasoned and heavily coated, is what we want. Now we're going to start heating up the pan. So what you probably should do really is, before you even start anything, you should start heating it up, so then it's already done. We're going to use obviously quite a high fire, and we're going to use oil. Now obviously we're deep frying, so don't be scared with how much oil we put in. Now the good thing with some oil as well, you can obviously reuse it as well, which I think this is reused oil. So we've cooked stuff in it before, so I'm going to use the whole lot, to be honest, and we can always drain it back out afterwards. So that's on a really high fire, as I said, and I'll just show you that. And I don't even know whether that videoed everything because it was on hold. That's on a really high fire, and then we're going to wait till that heats up. It's been heating up for about 5 minutes. I've actually just lowered the fire slightly, because some people say it's good to put a gradual heat on the fire so it gradually heats up. So also I've just put on the oven gas them up 200 degrees, because obviously once they've finished frying, we're going to put them in the oven. So the first thing you kind of want to do is get your tongs, your spatulas, or whatever you call this, and you kind of want to just test to see whether it's hot enough. And obviously if it's hot, you'll hear the sizzle. See that? So that is ready to rock. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put that one in nicely, like so. And then I'm going to do the other one. And obviously I'm using one hand for this, because the other hand's holding the camera. So I'm going to stop it in a sec and start frying the others. So that's it. We're going to now let it just rest there for a few moments, and then gradually turn it until it's nice and golden brown, and then we're going to rest it on the plate to put in the oven. I've just slightly lowered the fire. That's the fire level that we have. But also, once you put them in, you don't want to touch them straight away, because obviously the coating will come off them if you start playing around with them and move them around. So you can already see them already taking that golden brown shape already. But obviously be very careful, because obviously you are dealing with hot oil, and it does have a tendency to like spit out now and again. So yeah, so this is the frying process, which as you can see, really easy, and it's smelling tasty. Right, these have been frying away now for about I would say a couple of minutes, maybe 4 to 5 minutes. And I'm just going to take one to show you within that time what sort of colour it is. You can see it's looking golden brown already. I'm going to slightly move them around, give them a bit of a turn. Just make sure that all of the chicken gets covered and coated. Now I've only put in 3 in here, but obviously you could probably put another 1 or 2 more. But I like to leave a little bit of space for the chicken to move around, and for me to move it if needed. So this is looking good. I'm going to give it a few more minutes, and then I'm going to put them and place them in the oven. So now, as you can see, the chicken has been in here for about 10 minutes, and as you can see, this is looking nice and golden. Now we're going to take these out and place them nicely on the tray. So what you need to just try and ensure is that even though they're golden brown, we want to make sure they cook inside. So we're just going to place them in here, and then that's why we're going to put them in the oven and let them cook in the oven also. Okay, so now I'm going to do that with the rest of them, and then I'm going to put them all in the oven. A bit of a check and a turn. Nice and golden brown. You kind of got to judge it as well to make sure that they're cooking all the way through. That obviously could do with a bit more cooking. Right, as you can see, the thighs have been in here for about 10 minutes now. I'll give you a little look. Nice and golden brown. Leave them in there. I've just turned them over. Now what you can obviously do is just make sure that all the chicken is fully covered, and if not, then you can obviously add more oil if needed. The other chicken I have is in the oven, being cooked nicely, heated up. And then we're just waiting for this. So this is about 10 minutes. I'll give it another 5-10 minutes again, just to make sure it's fully cooked. And then I'm going to place that also into the oven. And what I've also done is, obviously, fried chicken not that healthy, but I'm going to complement it with a nice salad. So obviously this is completely optional, not part of the necessary meal. But I've just got some blueberries, olives, tomatoes, avocados, etc. And that will make a nice complement to the fried chicken. Now what we're going to do is going to quickly put the thighs on, give it a bit more of a coating, push it all down. And simply, we're going to place these. Now again, be very careful when they're going for the first time. I'm going to put it bottom side up, like so. That's 1. That's 2. Oh, come on, you slippery sucker. And that's 3. So we're going to just leave them like that for now. I'm only doing 3, and as I said before, once you put them in, leave them in there, because obviously you don't want the topping to be removed. So we're going to leave them there for a few minutes, like say like 5 minutes before I check them. See, I'm just taking this out. And now the other pieces of chicken have been in here for about 15 minutes, and now it's time to take those out. Then I'm going to place this on here. Be very careful, obviously you're dealing with hot oil.
Let it drain, let it drain. Let it drain.
Well, be careful, obviously. Right, come on, let me do that. Right, be very careful because you're dealing with hot oil, so make sure you let it drain fully before you place it. So we don't want to put it in there, we don't want to leave it frying for too long because obviously it'll get really hard and we don't want that. So there we go. And then we're going to, the last one. So it's about cooking time about 10-15 minutes. Now just a little note, so obviously the other chicken that we had in here before has already been in the oven, so bear in mind in terms of the cooking these chickens have been in there a bit longer, so I kind of do that motion, so when it comes to taking them out to eat obviously these will be done a bit more than the others, so just kind of bear that in mind. So these are on here now, and now I'm going to put these into our preheated oven like so, making sure. Right, so there you have it, the fried chicken looking nice and golden brown. It's been in the oven for about 15 minutes, so just make sure it's cooked throughout. And again, I've got the salad here, so you can gently garnish it with some salad, if you wish. Cucumbers, tomatoes, etc. And that's it. Hope you enjoyed, saw how easy it was to make some nice homemade fried chicken. So I just wanted to take off this chicken to just show you inside how lovely, I don't know if you can see that, how lovely, soft and tender this chicken is, and oh my gosh, it is so tasty. I'm going to stop recording because I need to eat some chicken. Alright, hope you like it. Enjoy.